Oh hey, it's Numbly with Game of the Week, and I figured I would just make a quick compilation of some things that I've learned either by watching other people's videos or personal experience or looking things up on Reddit, and just 5 things that will hopefully make your grinding in this game a little bit easier, your progression a little bit smoother. So yeah, here we go. 5 tips for Tribe 9. Let's go. Alright, tip number 1. Following people. Typically, you do not want to ever follow someone who is out in the world. If you're going to follow people, you're going to want to follow people in this room specifically. You can see that this person has put in the effort. They're in end game. They have characters that are high enough that they can beat the boss. So you want to follow that type of person. If you follow people who are out in the world, you have no guarantee that you're going to have a person who is going to reach max level, which typically means that it's better to do the people in this room, because this is the end game of end game in the game right now, is the last boss of the labyrinth. And the reason for that is, one, it's really hard to selectively defollow people who aren't playing, who aren't going to reach the end game. Like, you have to do it individually, and I'll show you that in the next tip. But yeah, if you're going to follow people, follow them from this room, or whatever the last room is for the current labyrinth. Okay, next tip. Alright, tip number 2 is to come in here and do your dailies every day. Now, typically the best rewards to take are either credits, or Kane, or these TP T-points. Typically you don't want to take these stamps, really. The reason being is that 5 stamps is really not that much. So you'd get 15 if you took 3 stamp quests a day. Most items, even blues or grays, cost 5 stamps, and typically they're just not worth it. Adjacent to taking your dailies is to do your item fulfillments every day. Typically what you want to do for this is, because items, these yellow items, are very abundant, at least when people are just starting to reach endgame, you typically want to request one of these yellow items, because the boss will drop between, 1 to 3 of them, and people don't really need them right away. So it's a free way to just give another person on your friends list 10 free Enigma entity. What you shouldn't do is request this stuff. Don't request like Argent codes, Argent data, Argent programs. Don't request this stuff, because 45 of these blue items, that's a huge ask. 15 of these purple items, that's also a huge ask. 5 of these yellow items, like, I can't even, so what you want to do is you want to make friends with, you want to follow people who are requesting boss items. so that you can just kind of trade boss items back and forth every day and get those free 30 Enigma entity. You're basically going to want to join a Discord or something like that and hook up with like-minded people who are also looking to get that free 30 Enigma entity a day. It's a lot of work for not a lot of reward, but if you set it up, it's extra currency. This also links back to tip number 1, because removing people from your follow list who don't follow this guideline is really, really annoying. You can only do it one at a time from your following list, and it doesn't show you who is requesting what from your following list. Typically, you just shouldn't follow people who are not at like 84 stamps or above. That might sound elitist. It's not. Because there's no way to tell if these people are going to ever reach endgame. I followed a whole lot of people right from the start last time, or right from the start when I started the game, and I had to delete a whole lot of people just because, you know, it's been days and they're not at endgame yet. I know the game's only been out for like 2 weeks, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to use low tension cost or no tension cost cards. I don't know how this got through like quality assurance or anything, but typically X cards are really bad. If you use X cards, you can't use ultimates. And on top of that, you can see I did some testing with like Filthy Rich Guy, with Detonator. The benefits that they bring to the table are not worth having, really. So typically, you want to bring cards that give you buffs for very low cost. So zeros and ones are basically your go-tos. I'm not gonna lie, I saw a lot of these cards in a Reddit post. I'll link to it into the description. I don't want to take full credit for it because it's not my build, but typically full party is very, very strong. Especially since if you use this card as well, you start off with Unity, which will make this double at all times. And then on top of that, you just basically want to bring recovery cards like Stimulation, which will make it so that anytime you're healed by anything, you'll recover an additional, what is it, 1% per second? 1% every 3 seconds. So this is just free 4% HP every time you heal. It's good stuff. There's also, if you're like me and you get hit a lot, recovering, you know, another percent HP over time. And then this one, if you counterattack a lot, because my main character that I play is a magical evader, I typically play this one over the break card, but eventually if I pick up Mew, I'll probably switch back to this card, which is basically the same as this card up here, but this one is anytime you counterattack, and this one down here is anytime you break. Counterattacking is typically better than breaking, but if you're going for an all-break party, which I want to do eventually, this card will probably outshine that one. And what Control does is it gives you 15% crit rate. So when you have this card active and this card active, you're basically sitting on like a 45% crit rate. Or not 45, 40 to 45, depending on the level of your cards. Yeah. So yeah, use low cards. This is subject to change. They might rebalance X and level 2 cards in the future, but right now these are just not worth it. None of these cards bring enough to the table that just staying alive and having longevity and giving yourself massive crit buffs, these cards are just, they don't cut it. They cost way too much. Alright, next tip. Alright, tip number 4. What these symbols mean in Fractal Dice. So, if you look at the left symbol first, you can see it's a treasure chest. It says 31 out of 69. Now, what confused me a lot of the time was I thought it meant that the next floor has 69 chests in it. That's actually not how it works. I'm rather dumb when it came to that. It means that this route has a possible 31 chests left in it. That means that there might be 6 chests on the next floor, and there might be branches that go like 1, 2, 3, 4 different areas. One might have 7 chests more in it, one might have 4 more chests in it, one might have 8 chests in it, etc., etc. But it doesn't mean that the next floor has this many chests. It means that this route still has that many chests left in it. Now the other side, the heart percentage, is showing how many amount of players have survived going through that floor, or through that route. So, for example, 30% means that only 30% of players made it to the end by taking this route. This number is typically going to be low, because we still have people who are having trouble clearing red shift monsters at the end of the labyrinth. But don't get discouraged. You just need to find a party that works for you, and eventually you will clear. See, for example, here there's 0 out of 8 chests left, which means that I would not want to take this route, seeing as there are no more lootable things there for me. Instead, I would probably prefer to take, like this, 4 out of 9. That means that there are 4 more chests in this area rather than 0 in the other one. Alright, so the next tip, I think most importantly, is you need to get used to swapping characters in combat. Typically, you'll see that the boss will attack whoever you're controlling pretty consistently. See, watch, if I swap to Yo, they'll suddenly start attacking Yo. Eventually. See, they move to Yo now. So whoever is being attacked, or whoever you're controlling, is the most likely to be attacked by mechanics. So you can abuse this AI to, so that like when a character gets low, or if a character's in an inadvisable low advantage position. See, like for example, she just took a big hit. I'll switch to Yo now, and it will give my other characters time to heal her up, because typically the AI is quite good at dodging damage for you. See, Yo just took a whole bunch of damage. I switch back to my shielder. She just took a whole bunch of damage. I'll switch to this character. And as you can see, they're just kind of taking care of themselves, healing each other. Like, I'm barely paying any attention to the mechanics. I'm getting hit a whole bunch. And my healers are taking care of everything for me. I haven't even gotten to use the chain skill for my shielder to get shields yet. And now I have even more defense, more shields. So yeah, just be ready to swap characters in fights as much as needed. And there you have it. Keep swapping characters, keep the AI guessing, and eventually you will win. So yeah, those are my 5 tips for Tribe 9 to help you get a little bit further in the game, you know, have a little easier time getting things done. Yeah, I hope this helped, because I wish I knew some of these things myself and hadn't wasted some resources that I really could have used elsewhere. Anyways, thanks for watching. I've been Nombly with Game of the Week. Happy grinding. Bye bye.